Hello there, I'm Teacher Jess. Welcome back to Geo Cafe. I hope you're doing well. Do you have coffee on hand? Oh, that's a nice cup today. So, in the last session, we were looking at coordinates, which is a critical part of math work and surprisingly something that people either do get or don't. So, in the last one, we just did basics of coordinates. And now I was thinking we can recap that and try to go a little bit further. So we just started with looking at degrees, north, south, east, and west. And now we're going to break down those degrees into minutes and seconds. Okay, let's share the screen. So I figured I'd start with Google Earth so you can see exactly what I'm talking about from the get-go. Great. So just as a little recap of what we did last time. Hello, welcome back. So as a little recap of what we did last time, we have our four main hemispheres. So we have northern, southern, eastern, and western. And we label that with the N, E, S, and W, as you can map. Delightful. And we measure how far north, east, south, west something is using degrees. When we're looking north and south, we are looking at our latitude. How far north, how far south something is looking at the latitude. That measures from the equator, that is 0 degrees, and it will go up to the poles, that is 90 degrees. So ranges from 0 to 90. Or it will go south to the pole, there we go, and then it's 90 degrees south. Then east and west looks at looks at the longitude, how far east or how far west something is. So we go from 0 degrees, there we see, prime meridian, also referred to as a Greenwich meridian. So prime meridian is at 0 degrees east or west, and if we go all the way to the other side of the globe, it reaches a maximum of 180. So here you can see each line is going up by 10. It goes there we go, it's starting to load, 150, 160, 170, and the anti-meridian is 180. Okay. So in the last video, we were looking at just understanding the degrees. Let's go to South Africa, go to, let's say, Durban. Okay. And now you can hopefully see that each one of these lines indicates a 1 degree interval. That is what we were looking at last time. So we were able to give the coordinates of a place, and we were able to find a place using those coordinates. So if we look at it, it kind of looks like Durban, the word Durban is on the 31 degree east line, and it's a little bit north of the 30 degrees south line. So here's our 30 degrees south, but there's Durban. That is now when we're going to break down degrees into. So if I zoom in a little bit more, and now you'll see next to the degrees is another set of numbers. Right over here we have a 0, 5 with a little apostrophe. That is minutes. Every degree is broken into 60 minutes. No, a degree is not an hour. That usually gets asked. Degrees are not time. I know that we use minutes and seconds to break up degrees, Please don't get them confused with time. A degree is not an hour. For the sake of this, we can think of it like a quarter hour or half an hour when we think of a half a degree or a quarter degree, where a quarter degree is 15 minutes or half a degree is 30 minutes. So maybe it will help with some of the conversions, but it's not an hour. Okay, so why don't we start with first understanding minutes before we go into seconds. Got a random sticker in the middle. Let's just that. There we go. So let's say hemisphere should be. I'm gonna go with stick with South Africa. So southern and eastern. South, we've 30 degrees south, 1 degree south, degrees, 3 degrees, and 30. Oh, go. So this will just be a little bit of a refresher from last week. And then east, extend this line a little bit. East to right. Let's say 15 degrees east, 16 degrees east, 17, 18. Handwriting is not fantastic. I'm actually going to correct myself on a point. If you look over here at the 18 degrees east, I know that writing on an iPad is very messy, but that I really need to correct because that looks far too much like the symbol. Let's just fix that. Okay, so it's important for the degree symbol to be clear so that I understand what I'm actually reading and interpreting. I can technically say the same thing over here for the 34 degrees, and I suppose also for the 17. To be fair, I'm questioning if that number is a 17. Let's just go with it. Okay, so it was easy for us to say something. I'm gonna put a star. Oh, that was kind of cute. Straight. It's not perfect, but it'll work. So let's start with the star. If I wanted the coordinates of the star, that makes life a little bit easier because it's on the lines. There, here, there. These are the coordinates that we're finding. When we find coordinates, we always start with north-south. So how far, so see we're not in the north, we're in the south. So how far south are we? So you find where the star is, you follow the line of latitude, see the 32 degrees south. There's the start of our answer. 30, oh, 2 degrees south. Great. And then you look at the east-west. So we have 16 degrees east. So there's my star, follow my line of longitude, and I get to these 16 degrees east. Good. Are we happy so far? I hope. Okay. Now let's do the thumb. So the thumb, you'll notice I didn't put neatly on the line. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, man. So you see, it's not perfectly on the line. It's kind of hovering in between them. So what we're going to do first is we're going to find the degrees, and then we're just going to estimate the minutes. We're going to estimate it using fractions, basically. So let's start with the degrees, with south. Now you'll see that it's between 32 degrees south and 33 degrees south. That means it's not at 33 yet. It's at least 32, but it's not 33. I'm going to start there. Oh, why do I keep drawing these random lines? 33 degrees south. Okay, I'm going to leave a space. Actually, let's erase the south because I've put that in too soon. I'm going to leave a little space next to it and then do the east. Put the south in there. It'll make sense in a minute. Sorry, that was a bad pun. Let's try with the east. So we can see that it's between the 17 and the 18. So it's definitely 17. It's not yet 18. If it's between the two numbers, it's always the smallest number. Not yet 18. 17 degrees. And then I'm leaving a space and putting in east over here. So that space is where my minutes are going to go. Let's zoom in a little bit further. And I'm going to draw a new set of lines. Color pen. The red. And we're going to do the south first. So I'm going to do a halfway line through there. You're going to do quarters. Okay. Now we look at the thumb. It would have helped if I made the thumb a little bit smaller, so it's on the point a bit clearer. Half, quarter, and 3/4. Hope you're with me. I know the numbers are not very clear. So what we've done is we've broken it up, broken the degree up into fractions. So if this is the the end of the 1 degree, let's check what it was, 32 degrees. No, sorry, this is the start of 32, this is the start of 33. This is a quarter of the degree, this is a half of the degree, and this is 3/4. I've just broken it up into bite size. And we can see that the thumb is floating somewhere between a quarter and a half. But these fractions have values in minutes. If I say, let's write them over here, that 1 degree is 60 minutes. Then we can also say that a half a degree, oh, come on, where's my pen? Is 30 minutes. And a quarter degree is 15 minutes. And 3/4, 45 minutes. And we don't have to be perfectly accurate with this one. You can see that my little stamp is actually quite big and it's not a nice, neat little point. So we can't be accurate. We're going to estimate. That's okay. So I'm going to rewrite those values onto this side, red and blue. So I said that a quarter of a degree would then be 15 minutes. A half a degree would be 30 minutes. 3/4 of a degree is 45 minutes. Okay, so we've just broken down generally. And we can see that the thumb is somewhere between 15 and 30. And this is where we're just going to make a number. So a random number between 15 and 30, I think it's closer to the 30 than the 15. So how about we say 25? I think 25 is fair. Okay. Oh, I made a mistake. Why didn't you point out my mistake? I wrote degrees over here. No. Oh, that's not degrees, it's minutes. There we go. So the thumb is somewhere between the 15 and the 30, and I'm going to call it 25 minutes. Right over here, next to the 33 degrees south, I'm putting minutes. Okay, so far, so. And now let's go in the other direction. So far, I'm definitely preferring this app. It's not perfect, but it's better. Okay, let's break up the lines again. Halve it. And then I'm going to half the half. That's not very good. Try that again. Come on. Half that. Okay. Now, if you're not, how did it undo? If you're not sure which way you should be counting in, go back to your degrees. And because we're in the eastern hemisphere, it increases towards the east. So there's 17, there's 18, which means that this is the quarter, half, and the 3/4. Good. So in minutes, means this is 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. Now, I think that the thumb, I think that looks like it's on the 30 minutes. Yeah? Sure. Let's call that on the 30 minutes. Right here. 30 minutes east. There's our complete coordinates. 33 degrees and 20 minutes south. 17 degrees and 30 minutes east. Well done. That was challenging, but we got it. Okay, so you'll notice that I did things slightly differently. And you see that there's now a grid line in between the degrees that don't have any labels. These grid lines will then represent the half a degree, so 30 minutes. Your maps won't always have that. They won't always have them labeled. They will assume that you know how to understand a half a degree and that a half a degree is 30 minutes. So that's what we're going to be working with. Let's number a few points. Okay. Hopefully that will be somewhat challenging. So I'm going to include a third and 2/3. So we've got 2 more tools in the toolkit. So a third of a degree would be 20 minutes. And 2/3 of a degree would be 40 minutes. Okay. So let's start with A. When doing degrees, when doing coordinates, we always start with south and north. We are not in the northern hemisphere, we're in the southern hemisphere, so it's south. There is A, and we can see that it is at least 20 degrees south. Good. I'm going to leave space next to that for the minutes. I'm going to put south in. East. Again, I leave space on my minutes. Now I can see that we have already halved this up a bit. So if we look south, here is a line of latitude that is halving this 20 and 21 degree. Means that this is 30 minutes. But I'm going to halve that again. The halfway line conveniently going through the point. Let's call that a happy accident. Okay, and half of that, so a quarter of a degree, 15 minutes. Yay! There we have it, 15 minutes. That's the sheet, there we go. Minutes south. So far, all is well. And now we go east. So we already know that it's 12 degrees east. We know that this line is halving that degree. So this is 30, no, we need the right pen. 30 minutes east. And a half of that again is 15 minutes east. Now, we can be pedantic and we can say, well, that dot isn't exactly on that line. So should we maybe say 14 minutes? I'm fine with that. Let's say 14 minutes. Good. Okay, let's try B. I think let's try both of the south minutes, minutes and degrees and minutes at the same time. So it's definitely 21 degrees south, between the 21 and the 22. degrees. So I'm going to go straight to the minutes. So if this is my halfway line, this is 30 minutes. Means everything along this line is 30 minutes. Okay. And I'm going to halve that again. And point B is somewhere between them. Somewhere between the 15 and the 30. Shall we call that low 20s? Maybe 22, more or less? You can't guess perfectly. Go with 22. 22 minutes south. Oh dear, why did I write so skip south? Now let's try east. Oh, we are fortunate here. Look, B is on the 13-degree line. So if it's on the degree line, you have to show that it's on the degree line. So you show with the zeros. Okay, let's try C. I think we're getting the hang of it. This is my halfway line. That is the halfway line. That would be 30 minutes. And then I'll do another half of a half. So this is 3/4 down. That means this is 45 minutes. And it's south. And let's go east. Here is 13 degrees east, 14 degrees east. Hello, good morning. I believe you're new here. Welcome. So it's definitely 13. That's our halfway line. Just 30 minutes. This is 3/4, so 45 minutes. And it's more than halfway across. So I'll maybe call that 35 minutes. So let's do the last question. That was D. I'm going to fill that line in so long. I'm going to pretend that that's a straight line. We start with the north-south. So that's at least 21 degrees south. It's not yet 22, 20 degrees. So that's 45 minutes. We can see that D is somewhere between 30 and 45. Oh, I see you followed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So let's call that 37 minutes. Cool. And we look east, 12 degrees east and 13 degrees east. So it's at least 12. Good. So there's our point over there. Here is the one halfway line. So that is 30 minutes. Oh, why do you keep doing that? And here we're going to half the other halfway line. 45 minutes. So we're increasing towards the east, increasing that way. And I'd say that point isn't exactly on 45. Should we say 44? Oh, you gave coordinates. That's delightful. Okay, we're going to check that out on Google Earth now. Okay, let me just give you the last answer over here, and then we'll go find those coordinates on Google Earth. 40, red The pen. The right pen. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look. Second east. Wonderful. Let us find you on Google. Where are we? There. Okay, so when I keep zooming in, you'll see that it keeps adding lines, more and more grid lines. Okay, let's go to the castle. Castle's name. It's fine. We'll go to the castle. Oh, that's very faint. Why is this not? Obviously, I've gone too far. I think this view is actually too cluttered. You can't see the numbers at all. The numbers are all faded out. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. See what we'll chat about then. Have a lovely day. Okay. Bye.